Welcome to Momo TV. Right now, we are walking into Meiji Jingu, one of the most important and symbolic Shinto shrines in all of Japan. As you may have already felt, something changes the moment we step through the massive wooden torii gate. The noise of Tokyo fades away, replaced by gravel underfoot, towering trees, and a deep sense of calm. It's almost hard to believe that we're standing in the heart of one of the busiest megacities on Earth. Meiji Jingu is not an ancient shrine in the traditional sense. It was completed in 1920, which makes it relatively young by Japanese standards. Yet its significance is enormous. The shrine is dedicated to Emperor Meiji and Empress Shoken, the imperial couple who presided over one of the most transformative periods in Japanese history. The Meiji Restoration, late 19th century. This was the era when Japan decisively shifted from a feudal, samurai-ruled society into a modern nation-state. Under Emperor Meiji, Japan ended centuries of isolation, adopted Western science, technology, and political systems, built railways, factories, universities, and a modern military, redefined itself as a nation capable of standing alongside global powers. For many Japanese people, Emperor Meiji symbolizes rebirth, adaptation, and national resilience. The idea that tradition and modernity do not have to be enemies. One of the most remarkable aspects of Meiji Jingu is the forest surrounding it. This forest is entirely artificial. Over 100,000 trees, donated from all across Japan and even from overseas, were planted by hand. The design was intentional. Rather than a manicured garden, planners wanted a forest that would naturally evolve over centuries, growing stronger and more self-sustaining with time. Today, this forest acts as a spiritual buffer, separating the sacred from the secular, a living symbol of harmony between humans and nature. A reminder that long-term vision matters more than short-term results. Walking here feels less like visiting a monument and more like entering a breathing, living sanctuary. Meiji Jingu is a Shinto shrine, and Shinto is less about doctrine and more about relationship between people, nature, and the unseen forces known as kami. Here, Emperor Meiji and Empress Shoken are enshrined not as gods in a Western sense, but as kami, revered spirits who embody certain ideals. Moral leadership, harmony between old and new, respect for nature and society. As we stand quietly in the courtyard of Meiji Jingu, we are witnessing a scene that feels almost timeless. The figures dressed in white and vermilion, moving slowly across the stone pavement, are part of a traditional Shinto wedding ceremony. one of the most sacred rituals in Japanese culture. This style of wedding is called Shinzen Kekken, meaning marriage before the kami, or the divine spirits of Shinto belief. Rather than being a public celebration, this ceremony is deeply spiritual and solemn, emphasizing harmony, respect, and continuity. The bride is dressed in a pure white kimono, known as shiromuku. White symbolizes purity, humility, and a readiness to accept her new family and future. Her head may be covered with a white hood, representing modesty and the wish to keep jealousy and ego hidden. The groom wears a formal black kimono with traditional family crests, symbolizing responsibility and the role he now carries as the head of a new household. Leading the procession are Shinto priests and shrine maidens, dressed in ceremonial robes. Their slow, deliberate movements reflect the Shinto belief that sacred acts should be performed with calmness and respect. The ceremony itself takes place inside the shrine's inner hall, away from casual visitors, reinforcing the idea that marriage is not a performance, but a vow made quietly before nature and the divine. Inside the shrine, the wedding follows a precise and symbolic sequence. The priest first offers prayers to the kami, asking for blessings, harmony, and protection for the couple. Then comes one of the most important rituals, San Kudo, the sharing of sake. The bride and groom take 3 sips each from 3 different cups. The number 3 is considered auspicious in Japan, symbolizing balance between heaven, earth, and humanity. Through this act, the couple is spiritually bound, not just to each other, but to their families and ancestors. Unlike Western weddings, this ceremony is usually attended only by close family members. There is no cheering, no applause, only quiet observation. The atmosphere is restrained, elegant, and deeply reflective, emphasizing that marriage is a lifelong commitment rather than a single celebratory moment. Meiji Jingu is especially meaningful for weddings because it is dedicated to Emperor Meiji and Empress Shokan, a couple remembered for guiding Japan through immense change while preserving its cultural soul. People come here to pray not only for personal wishes, but for national prosperity, peace, new beginnings. That's why Meiji Jingu is especially popular for New Year's visits, weddings, and important life transitions. Sake barrels and cultural identity. Visitors first bow lightly, then place a small offering into the box. Next comes the ritual. 2 bows, 2 claps, and 1 final bow. The claps are meant to call the attention of the kami, the sacred spirits, before silently offering a personal wish or expression of gratitude. After praying, many people write their wishes on small wooden plaques called ayame. These are hung here at the shrine, allowing the prayers to remain, symbolically carried by the wind, watched over by the spirits of the place. In Shinto, prayer is not about asking loudly, but about aligning quietly, with nature, sincerity, and respect. What makes Meiji Jingu truly special is not just its history, but its role today. Surrounded by Shibuya and Harajuku, centers of youth culture, fashion, and constant motion, this shrine stands as Tokyo's spiritual pause button. It reminds visitors that progress does not mean forgetting where you came from. Here, Japan tells its own story. We modernize without losing our soul. We move forward without cutting our roots. As we continue our walk, take a moment to slow your breath. Listen to the wind through the trees and feel the space around you. This is not just a shrine, it is Japan reflecting on itself. As we leave Meiji Jingu, the forest slowly gives way to the city once again. But the quiet remains with us. In the heart of Tokyo, this shrine stands as a reminder that progress and tradition can exist side by side. A place where history breathes, nature listens, and time moves just a little more slowly. Thank you for walking here with us, and see you in our next episode.